but it's got a bloody face on it. Hello everyone and welcome to an extra subscriber recommended video. Gives a bit of a workout actually. How weak am I? Yes, Becky got in touch on Facebook wanting me to try perler beads, and Becky also created a really cool portrait of me, which I think is fantastic. I love it. Thank you so much. And I'm assuming it's a time when I had blue hair. I think that's what that blue bit is. And I miss my blue hair. I kind of miss it until it obviously faded out and went to green, and it was just a nightmare to keep on top of. But still, my hair's just boring. It's a boring colour. It's just blonde. I'm so tempted to dye it a different colour. If you've got any recommendations, let me know. But yes, perler beads. I've got a huge box of them here, and I don't think I'd ever played with them as a kid or used them or anything like that, or obviously as an adult or anything, but I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with them. I think I have heard of them and seen them in action. But I've got a huge box that makes over 40 projects, so the possibilities are endless. Let's make some perler bead art. Okay, let's get into this kit. I have no idea what I want to make yet, but obviously it's given me a lot of inspiration on the box. And by the way, if you can hear a fan in the background of this video, it's because I've got my fan on full whack. It is so hot in the studio, I am melting. And I'm going to be using an iron. It's about to get even hotter. I can't cope, I'm British, I can't cope with the heat. Right, okay, so we have some little things. These are tiny. I wonder what, like, perler beads are for. Like, obviously, the stuff that you make. What do you do with them? Do you, like, turn them into, like, keychains or something? Because that's, like, well, it's tiny, isn't it? I don't know. You'll have to let us know in the comments. Or, Becky, if you're watching this, let us know what you actually do with them. Oh, I know what that is. I was wondering what it was for. Okay, I feel like I know what I'm doing, so I don't think I need to read any instructions. Not that it's given us any, actually. Oh, it has. Yeah, put the beads on, paper over the top, iron it. Okay, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Oh, what shall I make? What shall I make, everyone? Give us some ideas. I'll just try and go simple first and do, like, a tree. I think that's always a go-to when you can't think of something to make. You either make a tree or a flower. Oh, don't mix up. I need to keep these all colour-coded. Do not want to ruin this. It looks so nice. And before anyone says anything, I am aware that this is melting plastic. It's a waste of plastic, etc, etc. So just don't lecture us on it.
How dare you!
I assume all this stuff's recyclable, so at least that's something. These have all mixed together. Oh, I'm having a terrible time. I'm just going to actually check the box to see if these are recyclable. I'm sure it would tell you if it is. Not that I want to recycle them. I obviously want to keep my designs. It doesn't say whether it's recyclable. I'm just gonna Google it. I'm very interested actually. Are perler beads recyclable? Apparently it can all be recycled in household recycling. So if you make a design and you don't like it, you can put it in your recycling and it can get reused for other stuff. That's the issue with obviously like plastic and the world and stuff. As much as you want to avoid plastic, it's a very, very good invention and it has a lot of applications. So it is quite difficult to actually avoid plastic altogether, because I know for a fact there'll be someone who will slag us off for using plastic or whatever, but will happily go out and get a coffee or something in a plastic cup with a plastic straw, and it's like these, are they called like warriors or something, and they just lecture people on certain things when they don't even stick to them rules themselves. I come across so many of them on social media. Like, fair enough if you're living in a hut somewhere, living off-grid, you're drinking rainwater and showering in rainwater and doing absolutely zero harm to the environment, which I think is impossible, then fair enough, lecture me all you want. But if you're not one of those people, then just save it. Just save it. People like to get on the pedestals, is what I find from being on YouTube.
It's Friday, gotta get down right.
It's really bothering us. I can't sort all these out, but it's fine. We'll just start, because otherwise I'm not going to get anything done. Okay, so I want to make a tree. So we'll start with a bit of brown on the bottom here. If you've never used perler beads before, you just get like this little pegboard with little nubbins on it, and you get these tiny plastic beads and just pop them over the top of one of them, and that's how you kind of like build your picture up. And then obviously we're going to iron over the top of it. But yes, you'll have to let us know if you use perler beads or something similar, what they're actually designed for, what you do with the finished kind of outcome. Is it like a little coaster? Is it a little keychain? Is it all of the above? I'm not sure. Oh, this tree's going to be super cute. And you know for a fact, I will have wound someone up by saying that plastic stuff, you know. They'll have already left a comment. They'll have said,
Actually,
And it's like, oh, shut up. Like, I am obviously aware plastic's an issue and the environment's an issue. It's all going to be a complete shit show by the time I become an old man and by the time kids grow up and stuff. But they seem to go for individuals rather than actual policymakers and people who are in charge and bigger companies who can make more of an impact on the environment than individuals can. Because you can recycle and recycle all you want, you can walk to work all you want, cycle to work all you want, but if there are still massive companies pumping out oil and gases and all that kind of nasty shit into the environment, which they do, you walking to work, you recycling that bit of plastic, you doing what you can do to save the environment isn't going to amount to shit. And that's just a fact, and I'm really sorry to rain on your parade or anything, but it's true. Bigger companies and industries and agriculture and all that kind of stuff have a much larger impact on the environment than individuals do. And yes, I suppose we can all change our habits and our eating habits and stuff like that so that it forces companies to change and do things. Because one thing I learned this week actually, which I didn't have a clue about, is Australia relies heavily on coal, burning coal for their power. I had absolutely no idea. They still use coal. I don't think the UK uses coal anymore. Obviously we used to be terrible for coal, but I don't think we do that anymore. I think it's very, very rare that we actually burn coal for power and energy. It's just a shame that countries and leaders and stuff don't put more of an emphasis on, you know, investing in renewable energy sources and greener energy sources, and they seem to be more fixated on these big giant oil companies. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that because it just gets depressing, doesn't it? But my point is still there somewhere, and you can make what you want of my point. Or not. It's up to you. I don't care. But my tree is looking lovely. And I know it's very ironic to make a tree out of plastic. I just can't seem to avoid this subject anymore. It's weird how the mind works, isn't it? How did I get onto this? How did I get onto like chatting about this? I've got like another thing I need to talk about. Well, not need to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it because it relates to what I'm talking about. But I was having a chat with my mum like, I think it was like last month or a month ago. We're having like a coffee and stuff. And she said to us that she doesn't believe in climate change. And I was like, are you absolutely kidding? And anyway, we had like a very heated debate about it, blah, blah, blah. And I went over the next week and she said that she believes in climate change now. And I was like, well, where did that come from? And she's like, oh, I watched a documentary on it. I was like, that's all it took to convince you that it's real and it's true and it's happening, is to watch a documentary on it. And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, well, good, I suppose. But how weird's that? At least the documentary obviously clicked something in my mum's brain, or showed her a way of viewing things that she'd never viewed it before. But anyway, my tree is coming along lovely. Look at that. That's well nice. I actually think it's quite nice to work with little dots. You can kind of build up an image a lot easier than if you were kind of painting something. I don't know, there's quite a nice feel about it. It is a tiny bit fiddly, I'm not gonna lie. I keep like knocking the beads off. Like imagine if you flinched and you just knocked this entire thing and all the beads went everywhere. You'd be well pissed off with yourself, wouldn't you? I was in bed last night, and you know when you have one of those flinches where like you proper like jump out of bed? I had one of them last night, scared the shit out of us. I don't know where it came from. It used to happen when I was like dreaming, and I would think like I'm falling off a curb or something, but this one came out of nowhere. A ghost might have like passed through us or something. I think that's like an analogy people make, isn't it? If you or is it when you go cold out of nowhere? That's when a ghost's passing through you. I wish a ghost had passed through us now. I'm too hot. Oh, you bastard. What was I just saying? Did he knock them all off? It surprisingly takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. I'm having to concentrate so hard on this because I'm starting to get the shakes and I have a feeling I'm going to end up knocking this entire thing. And it's taken me nearly 20 minutes to do this so far. Okay, I think that'll do for the kind of tree bit. Then shall I fill this in with a bit of white and blue? Like a nice, like, you know, sky background. Couldn't think of what I was talking about there. Sometimes words just don't come easy. I'll go for like a stripe of white and then a stripe of blue just to fill it in a bit. I'm enjoying how colourful all these are though. It's very my kind of thing. Shall I do blue or shall I just do it all white? No, I'll do a bit of blue. My second camera's gone off again, so I don't know what you've missed from that. I can't afford a second camera, so please stop being a shit. I don't know whether it's the camera or whether it's the memory card, but it keeps doing it. It's really annoying. Honestly, I hate technology so much. It's very hard to record something and pay attention to what you're doing. Obviously talking about whatever you're talking about, and then keeping an eye that cameras are behaving themselves and doing what they're supposed to do. Right, there's a bit of white on. It's still recording, good. And now we'll do a little bit of blue just to fill this empty space in. I just realised I could have done a light green instead of that white, and that would have made grass. But never mind, that's fine. Oh, I can see the finish line. I know for a fact some evil person watching right now wants me to flinch and screw this entire thing up, but it's not going to happen. I'm going to concentrate because it has taken me half an hour to do this. Right, fab. Oh, I think that looks nice. Okay, so now I have to plug my iron in. This is the third time I'm using an iron on the channel this year. How insane is that? I've never used an iron this much in my life. Yeah, so the reason they give you this bit of paper is because it's like a grease-proof bit of paper that you place over so the beads don't get stuck to your iron. And my iron is smoking still because I think it's still got a bit of the wax left over from when I did that encaustic art. Greaseproof paper my ass. I tried to do encaustic art and it all went tits up. So let's just hope this goes okay and we don't have a repeat. How long do you leave it on for? About 10 to 20 seconds. Only 10 to 20 seconds? That's not a long time. Using a circular motion, iron for about 10 to 20 seconds. Do not press down on the iron. When ironed properly, beads will still have an open center. Let cool. So they're supposed to still be open. Okay, I think that's done. Oh, it's still very hot. I'll let it cool down. To prevent bead design from warping, place a heavy book on top of design as it cools. I shall use this book, which I don't think I've ever read before, and I don't think I bought this book, but it's got a bloody face on it. I didn't buy this one. I don't know who bought it for me. I don't even know what it's about. I swear I have books in the studio that I'm sure people either gave to us or are pinched from somewhere, and I've never read them before. I've got an entire bookcase over in the corner, stacked full of books, which I've never ever read. They're literally just for decoration. I'm not much of a reader, if you can't tell. Not much of a speaker, if you can't tell. Well, I'll wait a few minutes and let this cool down under the bloody faced book, and then we'll see what my little tree looks like. Okay, so I think this is fully cooled down. It's still a little bit warm, but it's not boiling like it was. Peel this off. Oh. Ah, that's kind of cute. It doesn't really look like a tree. Can you tell that's a tree? I don't think I can. I suppose I can, because I know I made it, and I know I was intending for it to be a tree. Yeah, it looks alright. That's the backside where it's melted a little bit more, but that's what it's supposed to look like. I kind of like it. I don't know what you're supposed to do with these, though. What's the point of them? Is it just like a little... I don't know, like a charm or something. What do you do with them? I'm trying to understand the point. Not that I don't like them, I like it. I just don't know what the purpose of them is. Is there a purpose? Does it have to have a purpose? It doesn't say anything, it doesn't say what they're supposed to be. Oh, what to do with all the perla beads. 15 creative projects to try today. Make a keychain, I thought keychain would be one. Coasters, I said that. A necklace. Pretend play stuff. Alright. Make a crown, that sounds right up my alley. Make a bracelet. Set up a sensory bin. Make a maze. I feel like they're talking out their ass. Just like little ornaments and stuff. Alright. Oh, okay, that's nice, I suppose. I'm only going to make the one because it took me forever to make this and I've got a lot to do today. And it's also boiling in the studio. I can't take turning that iron on anymore. But I do. I quite like it. I like the process. I think I'll keep all these beads. And I think they'll definitely come in handy for like a different project when I need to make something like a coaster or a keychain or obviously a crown. They're surprisingly strong as well. I was expecting it to all fall apart, but very hard. But thank you very much, Becky, for suggesting I try some perla beads. I've just realised as well on your images, I think you have like a bigger pegboard than I do. And yours looks like a harder plastic. Mine are quite, I don't know, I don't think it's as nice as yours. I'm assuming you must be able to buy bigger pegboards and create some like nicer, more significant kind of things with it. But your portrait looks really good. And I'm not just saying that because it's a portrait of me. I'm not that vain. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you on Friday for a brand new video, which I've already recorded. I'll give you a little hint. It's going to be magical. Is it though? Is it though? That's the hint. Is it though? So I'll see you then.